Hi everyone, and welcome to English for You. I'm Pat.
And I'm Kathy.
And today we're looking at this month's TOEIC unit, which means we're looking at the kind of English you might find in the workplace.
And today someone's calling to make a complaint about a problem.
That's right. And in this case, the problem is one that comes up a lot in the magazine office upstairs, which is where I work when I'm not filming.
Yes, you're a writer and editor as well.
Exactly. And so a big part of my job is looking out for mistakes in our work. And the thing about mistakes is that they're often no one's fault. Sometimes you can hit the wrong button when you type, or you can just overlook something and your brain kind of tricks you and says, no, it's right, you carry on, don't change it.
And sometimes facts can change at the last minute.
That's also true, especially when you're trying to write about current news. It's hard to keep up, as you've got to finish things, print them, and send them to the stores and so on, and the facts could change somewhere in the process before you get them out there.
So what we're saying is mistakes happen.
Right, and the trick is not about never making mistakes, it's about being honest when you realize you've made one and then fixing that mistake as quickly as you can.
And that's what we're going to see in this month's TOEIC article. So
let's read through it and find out what happens.
Reading.
The misprint. An editor's error.
Hello, Condor Publishing. How may I help you?
Yes, hello. My name is Amelia Barwood. I'd like to make a complaint about one of your travel books, A Backpacker's Guide to Madrid 2019.
What seems to be the problem?
To be honest, I'm not sure where to start. The errors in your book have cost me a fortune.
Did we misprint any prices?
No, but you could have been a little more thorough in your research. Firstly, your guide claims that the only way to get from Madrid airport to the city center is by subway. That isn't true at all.
I'll let our editors know immediately.
Make sure you do. It also didn't mention that the airport subway line was closed for 4 months this year. I thought my only other option was to take a taxi. The fare cost me over 1,000 NT dollars. A better guide would have saved me that expense. After all, there are 3 buses that make the same journey for 1/10 of the price.
I'm terribly sorry. I'll make sure we correct our content. If you could hold for a minute, I'll request a full refund for you.
Thank you.
Amelia is put on hold.
So we start with someone in customer services answering the phone. He says, "Hello, Condor Publishing. How may I help you?" So here publishing is used to mean a publishing company. A publishing company takes books and other written material and makes it available for the public to buy, either in bookstores or online. Condor Publishing is the name of this company, and so we know that they produce books.
今天一开始我们来看一下 publishing 这个单字是出版社或是出版公司，所以 Condor 是这家出版社的名称，名字放在 publishing 的前面，而 publish 是动词，指出版或是发表发行。To make information available to people, especially in a book, magazine, or newspaper, or to produce and sell a book, magazine, or newspaper.
So next we see the customer is Amelia, who says, "Yes, hello, my name is Amelia Barwood. I'd like to make a complaint about one of your travel books, A Backpacker's Guide to Madrid 2019. Now the word complaint is a noun, and it's a statement saying that something is not good enough. It's often used to talk to businesses about their products and services. You're saying there's a problem with it, that something's wrong, and that you want to bring this to their attention so it will be fixed. Here's an example. When my meal arrived, it was the wrong dish, so I made a complaint to the restaurant manager.
接下来是一通客诉的电话，打电话这个人叫做 Amelia， 他想要 make a complaint 投訴抱怨這家出版社的一本旅遊書哦。In this case, the complaint is about a book for backpackers.
Yeah, backpackers in Madrid, which is the capital of Spain. Now, a backpacker is someone who is traveling just with a few clothes and other things they have in a big backpack. Now, backpackers move around a lot. They don't just stay in one hotel for a couple of weeks. They stay a few days here, a few days there, and then they move on, always with the same backpack and the same stuff. Now, backpackers also try to travel cheaply. They stay in cheaper hotels, they take buses and trains for hours instead of taking planes, and they do other things like that. It's like traveling on a budget and seeing lots of different places.
Backpacker 就是背包客，自由行的旅客。这个字非常好记哦 ，back 就是背部 ，pack 是打包，那加 er 通常是形容人。结合在一起，大家可以想象，一个人呢身上背着大背包，就是背包客咯。So when the customer service person hears that, he asks, "What seems to be the problem?" 有什麼問題嗎？
And Amelia says, "To be honest, I'm not sure where to start." We use the phrase to be honest when we want to be honest about something. We want to speak frankly, and we're not going to try to make our words sound too nice or too polite. Basically, it means we're going to tell you the truth, even though this might make people upset.
To be honest 就是老实说，说实在的 ，frankly speaking。这样的用法是尝試讓自己稍微比較有一點禮貌，也可以先給對方一個心理準備哦。我接下來要說的事情可能不是那麼好聽。So it seems that there are a lot of problems.
Yeah, and what's more, these problems have consequences. Amelia says, "I don't know where to start," which means there are so many places,
Yes.
there are lots of problems here. And what she says about the consequences is, "The errors in your book have cost me a fortune." Now, the word fortune here means a large amount of money. We can say someone has made their fortune, which means they've made a lot of money. Or someone is seeking their fortune, which means they're looking to become rich. The word fortune can also mean all the money someone has. Now, here, Amelia doesn't really mean she's lost all the money she has. She's just lost a lot of money. Here's an example sentence. This apartment costs a fortune. There's no way I can afford to rent it.
這裡我們看得出來 Amelia 很不高興哦。她說呢，你們書中的錯誤讓我損失了一大筆錢 ，fortune 一大筆錢，巨款。例如 ，he received a large fortune when his uncle died. 而 fortune 也有幸運、好運的意思。有一句俚語呢，叫做 "Fortune favors fools"， 是從呢 "Fortune favors the brave"。勇者理當走好運，此以諺語轉換而來的。So fortune favor fools means that foolish people often have a lot of good luck. This is another meaning of this word.
Okay, so we know that Amelia has lost a lot of money, and the customer service person asks, "Did we misprint any prices?" So the word misprint means to print something wrong, like maybe there's an extra zero in a number or two numbers the wrong way around. So, for example, maybe the price of something is 1,000 NT, but the guidebook says 100 NT. So this would be a misprint, and the word can be both a verb and a noun. We can say it's a misprint for a noun, and we emphasize the miss, or they misprinted the number, so that's a verb, you emphasize the print.
客服中心的人問 Amelia 說：“我們出版社有沒有印錯價格呢？” Misprint 這個字呢是動詞，很好記哦，重音在後面。那 miss 這個字本身就有錯或者是錯誤的意思，加上後面的 print in 合起来就是錯印或是物質的意思。那如果是名詞呢，念法會變成 misprint， 重音變成在前面咯。Next, Amelia says, "No, but you could have been a little more thorough in your research."
So, to be thorough means to be very detailed and careful. You do something slowly and you make sure you finish every part and give every part all your attention. Anytime you do some work, you should do it in a thorough way. For example, the police carried out a thorough examination of the crime scene. It means they looked at every part, got everything, and they didn't skip bits or do it quickly.
Amelia 說呢，沒有，但你們可以在研究上面呢做更加充分詳細的考察，意思就是指出版社沒有做充分的調查。Thorough 充分的、詳盡的，這個字和另外2個字很像，不要弄錯嘍。一個是 through 經過、通過，一個是 though 雖然。In this case, Condor Publishing wasn't thorough in its research.
Research is the detailed study of something to discover new facts. So Condor Publishing was supposed to find out all kinds of facts that would help backpackers in Madrid. But they didn't find out all the facts very well. They weren't detailed, they weren't thorough when they went to find these things out.
Research 就是研究調查。那当名詞用的時候呢，重音是放在前面。例如 She's doing cancer research. 當動詞的時候放在後面。He is researching into the causes of cancer. So what did Condor Publishing get wrong?
Amelia says, firstly, your guide claims that the only way to get from Madrid airport to the city centre is by subway. That isn't true at all.
Now here, Amelia uses firstly, which means there are more than one problem in the book. 第一，你们的旅行指南自稱呢，唯一從馬德里機場到市中心的方式是搭地鐵，但它根本不是真的。
So the customer service person says, I'll let our editors know immediately. And editor is what I am. It's what I do. Editors are responsible for the quality of written content. Sometimes they're also writers, but more importantly, they check it, they check the facts, they improve the language, they make any written content simpler, clearer, more accurate, more interesting, and also fit with the company's standards and the way the company tries to appear in public. Editors have the final decisions on written work. For example, the newspaper editor decided the story needed more research before it could be published.
Editor 就是图書雜誌的編輯，這個字動詞呢就是 edit。例如 He spent all morning editing the book. I'm sure that Pat knows exactly what this work is all about.
All morning, all week.
All week. Okay. Amelia then says, make sure you do. 請確保你這麼做. So she means it, and we can tell that she's pretty unhappy.
She also says it, meaning the guidebook, also didn't mention that the airport subway line was closed for 4 months this year.
Oops, that's a big mistake. And it led to Amelia spending money. She says, I thought my only other option was to take a taxi. The fare cost me over $1,000.
Oh, 1,000 NT dollars in this case. So, I mean, of course, in Spain they use euros, but to make it clear for you guys, we're giving the figure in NT. 1,000 NT is an expensive taxi. So, she said it was her only option, or she thought it was. An option is a choice, something people can choose to do. Amelia thought she had 2 options or 2 choices. Take the subway or take a taxi.
Option 就是选择选项。举个例子 She had no option but to quit her job in order to take care of her child. However, this wasn't the case.
Exactly. So she thought, okay, I can take the subway, but the subway's closed and I didn't know that. So what do? Looks like my only choice, my only option is to take a taxi. But as Amelia says, a better guide would have saved me that expense. So an expense is a cost for or a cost of doing something. It's the money you pay. It could be for anything. The expense of taking a taxi, the expense of paying for a wedding, the expense of paying school fees, and so on. Here's an example sentence. John decided to ignore the expense and book a room in a fancy hotel. So he said, oh, I don't mind what it costs, whatever. I want to stay here, no matter how much I pay. Whatever the expense is, I'm staying here. Pay it.
A better guide would have saved me that expense. 这裡表現出 Amelia 原本期待呢，旅游指南可以幫她省下那筆開銷，結果卻事與願違。Expense 就是花費哦，費用。 例如 I don't think we can afford the expense. 我認為我們負擔不了這個費用。So what could Amelia could have done?
Yeah, if there wasn't a subway and the taxi was too expensive, well, Amelia found out, obviously, when she went to Madrid. She says, after all, there are 3 buses that make the same journey for a 10th of the price. So a 10th would be like 1/10, or we could say 10% of the price. So if the taxi cost her around 1,000 NT, the bus would cost her probably around 100 NT. Again, in euros. Euros would be the currency they use in mainland Europe. Either way, it would have been a lot cheaper for her to make that journey.
Make a journey 或者是 make the journey 在主词呢為交通工具的時候，表示它行駛於特定路線。加上數字呢这个序数在英文中可以用来表示分之一，所以 a tenth 就是1/10的意思。And the customer service person says, I'm terribly sorry. I'll make sure we correct our content.
So the word content is anything that's provided in a book, but also on a website. Now, often we talk about written content, so that could be anything that's written, articles, lists, little information bits, and so on. But content can also be used to mean videos, things you can listen to, pictures. It's just anything that people can look at or watch and get information from. So here's an example sentence with that. Mitch's job is to create content for several companies' Facebook pages. So maybe he does some posts for some, he makes videos for another, he does links, he does memes, he does whatever. He just creates things that people can see, and that is content.
Content 就是内容。Like when you guys read our magazines, you are reading the contents in the magazine. And it looks like this customer person wants to do something more for Amelia.
That's right. The customer service person says, if you could hold for a minute, I'll request a full refund for you. So a refund is getting the money back for something you've already paid for. If you buy something, but there's a problem with it, you could get a refund. They give you the money back. Maybe you cancel a hotel room or a plane ticket. Maybe you can't get a full refund, but you could get some of the money back.
So the customer person is trying to solve the problem, and Amelia says thank you.
And we then see that Amelia is put on hold. If someone is put on hold, they're in the middle of a phone call, but they're asked to wait. Now at this point the connection is paused, so the people on the call, they can't hear each other. They could talk to somebody else in the room and the other person on the phone wouldn't hear them. Now when someone's put on hold, the call is connected to maybe a recorded message or music that plays over and over again. And this shows the person on the line, the call is still going on, you're just not connected to the person you were talking to before. Sometimes the call is then transferred to another person after you're on hold. So you call person A, and this says, I'm going to put you on hold, transfer you to person B, so when you hear them again, you've got a different person. It's all about switching or pausing the connections in the phone line.
Put somebody on hold 就是呢在电话接通之后呢，等待通话，保持通话的状态。hold 在此呢有不挂断電話，保持通話的意思。例如，你打電話到一個地方，對方可能要詢問其他人，就會請你在線上等一下，然後你就會聽到裡面有音樂從話筒傳來。過一會兒呢，他們再回答你的問題。
Well, that brings us to the end of the first part of this month's TOEIC article. So let's go to today's For You chat question.
For You chat.
So the question is, other than a poorly written travel guide, what other things could easily mess up a vacation? Wow. I've got a few stories.
Okay.
All right. Well, since Amelia went to Spain, I'll throw in another one in Spain, not in Madrid, but in Barcelona, which is another big city in Spain. I was in Barcelona for about 1 hour before I got robbed. Somebody, while I was trying to book I think it was either the subway into town or whatever it was, or some kind of ticket, somebody pickpocketed all my cash.
Oh my God.
Now, I was lucky because I put all my euros in a different envelope so that I still had, it wasn't my wallet. They didn't get my wallet. They just got the cash.
Wow.
But they took the cash, but they didn't take the receipt that told me how much cash there was. And I was lucky. I had travel insurance. You should always get that if you go to a big European city because there are a lot of thieves. And so I could get all that money back later when I said, look, I've filed a police report. I've got proof of how much was stolen. Please refund me the money. I got a refund. So it messed it up because I had to then borrow money and use an ATM because I didn't have any actual cash. But other than that, I had a great time in Barcelona. Didn't mess it up too much. How about you? What is something that's messed up a vacation?
I think if you have overslept, and you missed the flight.
Yeah, nearly done that. Haven't, but nearly. I cut it super fine. Going to Ireland, yes, I overslept and I had to get a taxi, and the taxi may have broken a few laws driving me to the airport very fast. But yeah, has that happened to you?
Happened to my friend.
Okay, yeah, those things. We've lost luggage. My parents came to visit me once and their bags ended up in Nigeria instead of in Taiwan. So they had nothing except like one backpack for a couple of weeks. So, well, we got it was only a few days. They got the suitcases back. But yeah, lots of things can mess up a vacation. Now, tomorrow we're going to find out what Condor Publishing is doing about the mistakes in its guidebook. So we'll see you then. Bye for now.
Bye.
The misprint, an editor's error.
Hello, Condor Publishing. How may I help you?
Yes, hello. My name is Amelia Barwood. I'd like to make a complaint about one of your travel books, A Backpacker's Guide to Madrid 2019.
What seems to be the problem?
To be honest, I'm not sure where to start. The errors in your book have cost me a fortune.
Did we misprint any prices?
No, but you could have been a little more thorough in your research. Firstly, your guide claims that the only way to get from Madrid airport to the city center is by subway. That isn't true at all.
I'll let our editors know immediately.
Make sure you do. It also didn't mention that the airport subway line was closed for 4 months this year. I thought my only other option was to take a taxi. The fare cost me over 1,000 NT dollars. A better guide would have saved me that expense. After all, there are 3 buses that make the same journey for 1/10 of the price.
I'm terribly sorry. I'll make sure we correct our content. If you could hold for a minute, I'll request a full refund for you.
Thank you.
Amelia is put on hold.
Vocabulary Review.
Complaint. When another worker was rude to Margaret in the meeting, she made a complaint to her boss. Fortune. Jerry spent all his money opening a new cafe and lost a fortune when it failed. Thorough. Brenda's team did a thorough review of the product before confirming it was ready to be sold to the public. Editor. Kenny gave his story to an editor who corrected a few mistakes before it was printed in the magazine. Expense. The rise in gas prices added to the yearly expenses of Alfred's Moving Company. Content. The online magazine's content was poorly written, so few people read it.
智慧小補帖
Publishing. Backpacker. Misprint. Option. Refund.
以上節目是由活用空中美語製作，活用空中美語雜誌，請洽詢全國各大書店。如欲索取試聽教材，請來電02-2364-4000，02-2364-4000，或上網查詢，網址是 www.english4u.net，www.english4u.net。